Hey guys, Corrie here with another scrapbook process video for you. This is a page that I was inspired to do because when I was looking through some older supplies that I had, I found these chipboard stickers and the colors were just beautiful with gold and teal and pink. I decided I had to make something with those. And then once I kept going, I found all of these rub-ons that I had got from Michaels. They're Jane Davenport rub-ons, and I'm sure I had big plans to do something amazing with them and then ended up sticking them in my stash box. So I'm going to use all of that stuff today. I'm actually going to do a page about myself. It's not too in depth, but I was inspired to do that after listening to some podcasts one time and talked about how as moms definitely we need to do some stuff about ourselves, so I decided to do that. So what I did was I mixed some green paint with just some white acrylic paint to get it to be a little bit lighter, and I applied it down the center of my page just with a palette knife. So I wanted to get the color a little bit more even with the green, but then once I had that on, I'm not even waiting for it to be dry. I did go back with gold paint, and with the same palette knife, I just kind of scraped over that with the gold. Now what I'm doing is I'm applying some lines with the edge of the palette knife. I just dip it into the paint and then tap it on the paper both directions to kind of it gives a little bit of texture, line texture, because when it dries it stays elevated and it just looks really cool. It's a technique that I like to do quite often. I don't usually do it on top of paint. I usually just do it straight onto the background, but I really enjoy doing it because it just has a really neat look. Once I had been, after it was all dry though, I realized that I had pulled out these stickers and I really wanted those to be part of the background too, but I didn't want them to be on top of the paint. I wanted them to be part of the paint and kind of mixed in with the paint. So I was like, well, I can just do the same technique right over the stickers. So I went ahead and laid the stickers out. They're just little markings. There's some numbers and just some little like just hashtag type of things. Not modern day hashtags, just little hash marks. I'm sorry, on the stickers, and it's just black and white. So I went ahead and layered those on, and then with my palette knife again, I'm just going to go ahead and layer more paint just on top of those stickers, so it looks like they were there the whole time. I just didn't want them popping off of the paint. I wanted them to blend in with the paint, and so this works perfectly. It actually came out really nice. Once I had my paint was all dry, I did go in and I found this great rub-on from Jenny Bolin. This is so old, but it still worked. So I was super excited about that, and it was just enough pink right behind my photo to kind of bring out that color. And then I cut off the rub-ons that I wanted to use from these Jane Davenport rub-ons and put those just in a couple different places on my page. I always love rub-ons, and it's kind of sad to me that there aren't as many on the market as there used to be, but I kept all of my old ones from years and years ago, so I can still play with them. Unfortunately, a lot of them have gotten dry and gross, but hey, those Jenny Bolin ones, they still work great. So I'm just laying a little bit of tracing paper underneath my photo, just so that it's got a couple of easy layers underneath it. And then that's going to go and cover basically a good portion of that pink rub-on. So I just want the girl's face to actually be showing. I've got another rub-on here from Jane Davenport that says joy of living is enough, and I just really wanted to kind of emphasize that feeling, because it really is what it should be, the joy of living. So I'm using this one chipboard sticker that says I am. I'm going to go ahead and lay that down, and that's actually my title. And then in that same package, there's all these small little chipboard stickers that just have a few words that looks like they're typed on. I'm using ones that say enough, so blessed, thankful, happy, loved, loving life, and simply me. those are going to be layered down under the I am. Um, because that's really what I'm trying to remind myself of, especially when I get down in the dumps for whatever reason or overwhelmed, that I have all these amazing things and that it truly isn't as bad as in my mind it seems at that moment. Um, so I just every now and then, we got to do little affirmations for ourselves, uh, just to remind ourselves that it's really not as bad as we think it is. So one thing I did want to do is I wanted to cover up these very bold little flowers next to where it says I am. I wanted to do that because it doesn't match the colors of my page. So I did try and figure out what I could use to cover up, but I did that after I layered these little feather things on. I don't know what my problem is, but the feathers didn't work for me, and you'll see that later on because I end up ripping all of those up right from where they are. After digging through my stash, I did find this little metal flower that I believe came in a Freckled Fawn kit that I had kept, and so that worked perfectly to just cover up those little flowers. It's the same color as the background, and so it just worked beautifully. And then I found a little brown epoxy flower to go right next to it. That worked really well too. So just stamp the date, which was today, which was November the 8th when I actually made this page. And now here I am ripping up those feathers. I love looking at people's layouts with these feathers dangling underneath the photo. It's so cute, but I just cannot seem to make it work for myself. So when I had ripped them up though, I'd already glued them down, and so I ripped some of the tape and paint off. So perfectly this little bird, which matched with the gold and the mint color, fit right over them, and I was able to fit the little butterfly up on the top. And I'm still trying to figure out how to use one of these little feathers, and found that it worked perfect just to stick right out of those flowers. I did burn my finger really horribly, and have a blister on there from my hot glue, so you guys, if you're using hot glue, make sure you're careful. So here's the end of my page. It's all done. It came together super fast, and I love the colors. And even though it's got a picture of me on it, which I'm not super thrilled with, I do love the way it came out. Thanks for stopping by, guys. And if you want to see more of what I've got, follow me on Instagram at Corrie J Creative. Talk to you soon. Bye.